Hey, this is David Kerner from David K. Reptiles. It is, I think, 3 in the morning. I woke up at, 3 in the afternoon because I worked late yesterday night, so I was tired. About to feed the geckos. I actually cleaned my room today, and that's a pretty rare thing. It's been months since I have. I actually put my laundry away, which is usually sitting on my bed over there, and cleaned up some poop, which I normally clean up their poop, but and I fed Diesel. He shed the other day, or last night he shed, so he's looking real nice. Probably about Wednesday I'll be making a video, because I'm supposed to be getting something really cool in the mail. Y'all will be able to see it. Don't want to ruin the surprise, but y'all will be able to see it on Wednesdays when it's supposed to get here. Then later on in the week I'm supposed to be getting another package. Nothing too special, but I'll show y'all that too. This is where I keep the crickets, that's what I'm going to put in the female's cage, which I have Lucy, the normal female. She's got some keratin on her tail, but she's basically normal. She's real pretty though. And then, that's Dottie right there. And then Lucy, I don't know if y'all can see her. She's in there. It's my other female. And then I have a younger female, which that's Amber, and she's back here. They're all pretty active last night. They aren't really shy. They were kind of shy whenever I first got them. But I'm going to be feeding them crickets. I'm going to put some mealworms in there too. Try to switch them over to mealworms, because geckos, if you add, the right calcium and D3 and stuff, you can just feed them all mealworms. Which even if I get them switched over to all mealworms, I'll be putting crickets in there every once in a while too, because they are more nutritious. And then tonight for Elvis, which is the only male I have right now, getting another male soon. Just giving him mealworms because he likes those, and he's stopped growing. Well, not completely, like he's not done growing, but he hasn't been growing as much. He's kind of shot up, and then he's kind of slowed down quite a bit, but he should still be. He's 22 grams. Whenever I got him, he was probably around 10. I didn't have a scale whenever I first got him, but first time I weighed him, he was 15 grams, so he's gained quite a bit of weight. But I think it's because I had a female in there for a while just to see what he would do. I think he might have been waiting with her, just not that I saw, so that's probably why I lost some weight. Not a big deal, he'll be alright. Just mealworms are more fatty, kind of fatten them up a little bit. But this is where I keep the crickets. Don't have very many right now. Usually I have, y'all probably can't even see them, it's kind of dark, because this is in my closet. Just in a tub with a little water dish, and I put some kale in there for them to eat. And right now I just have one little paper towel roll in there for them to climb around on. I only have about 40 right now. I usually buy them 100 to 200 at a time, but I haven't bought any recently. Gonna get some more tomorrow, but bought some Dubai roaches that'll get here later on in the week, all adults, 50 of them. So gonna start breeding them soon. Hopefully I have a good ratio of males and females to start breeding them, but if not, I can buy a breeder kit and just feed them to Oscar the bearded dragon. But that's where I keep them. I'm gonna set you down while I put some crickets in the bag. Bear with me, I'm almost done. Almost done. Alright, I'm back. Alright, so I gotta tell you, if you're have large amounts of crickets, you know, if you're not buying them. If you have a good amount of reptiles and you don't want to, or if you have a small amount and you're buying lots of crickets at a time just to be cheaper and easier, put some paper towel rolls in there. It's a lot easier to get them into the bag. Just put it in there and shake them up. Alright, so what I use calcium supplement is I use ReptiCalcium from ZooMed with D3 for the geckos. I'll make a video sometime about all the products I use for my geckos. But the big containers like this have it like that, so that makes it pretty convenient. Alright, I'll put you down one more time. Bear with me. I'm getting there. Don't leave me yet. Alrighty, I'm back. I'll just put the calcium in there like that and give it a good shake. Probably the easiest way to do it. Probably going to switch over to all Dubai soon, especially if, well, not that soon. I'm going to have to buy some crickets, but it'll be mainly Dubais once the Dubais start breeding, because they breed a lot easier than crickets, and you don't have eggs, they're live young. I usually don't pour the crickets in there, because I like to do it by hand, because that kind of gives them a good association with me, like, oh, that's the guy who gives me food. I ain't going to be scared of him whenever he puts his hand in there. He's nice. Which if somebody puts their hand into my room with a steak dinner, I'm going to think the same thing, and I'm going to go to their hand when he puts it in my room. So there's 3 females in there, and 2 of them are, well, Dottie, I think Dottie might be full grown. It's a normal female. That one right there, she's at 42 grams, so she could be a full grown adult, but see, Amber, she's right on it. She just goes straight for the cricket. She doesn't waste any time. She's for 42 grams, yeah, somewhere around there, 40, 41, 42, it varies, you know. Damn it, my mealworms are getting out. Don't worry, Oscar's taking care of me now. My guard lizard. Alright, well, that one's dead. There's still cricket crap in there, which is kind of nasty, but that's also why I do it by hand instead of pouring them in there, because if you pour it in there, there's going to be cricket poo in there too, especially if you just shake them into there instead of grabbing them one by one, which, well, I don't think anybody grabs their crickets one by one, or by the handful rather. So now they all have crickets, so they're happy. They're all pretty good eaters, so her especially. Amber, she's the youngest one, she's still growing, that's probably why she eats them. And for Elvis tonight, I'll be feeding him just mealworms. That's not all I always feed him, but see, Oscar's wondering where some more mealworms are. I'll cover you up while I go to the kitchen. I'm not going, y'all. Bear with me. Alright, so, in the refrigerator, I know it's a mess, but I'm not cleaning it because I do not care enough to. I only have like 100 mealworms right now because that's not usually what I feed them. I might switch over to mealworms for the geckos instead of crickets. But if I was feeding them all mealworms, once I get the Dubais, if they start breeding well, it'll be Dubais and mealworms whenever I don't have enough, because it's not guaranteed they're going to be breeding all the time, and I'll have a steady supply. I don't know. Whenever I got them, the guy said to refrigerate them, which I don't really know that much about mealworms, but I'm guessing that is to keep them from growing, because they don't stay mealworms, they turn into beetles. Like this one right here. Yeah, give me a second. It's in like the second stage, like it doesn't look like a mealworm, but that is, I mean, it is a mealworm, I guess, but it's, whenever it starts turning into a beetle, it just kind of looks like a little larva. Which Elvis is the only gecko I've seen really get on these mealworms. I mean, I know that Lucy, my just high color female, was being fed mealworms, or I think that's what it was. It might have been superworms, but she seems to prefer crickets, but Elvis likes them, so that's why it's easier to feed these to him. Because the mealworms do get away. It's not, you know, you don't just stick it in there. I mean, if I had a higher container that was smooth, then they might, but I don't really have anything I could use right now, so if they're not going to eat them for sure, I don't want to have them in there, because then the mealworms get everywhere. It's kind of annoying. I don't want the mealworms all over. Almost done. That should be good. A little bit more. I like to keep my geckos well fed. Unlike a lot of animals, like I used to have a Pac-Man frog, if you feed them too much, they will eat themselves to death. Because especially like a Pac-Man frog, it will not let go. Anything that it gets in its mouth, even if it's bigger than them, once they bite into it, they're not going to let go. But geckos are pretty good at regulating how much they eat. They won't eat themselves to death. They're not, as far as I know. Maybe there's some rare cases, but pretty sure they won't. The easy thing with mealworms, you put them in there, it's easy for the gecko to get. They are definitely easy to manage with than the crickets. They don't smell. If you're keeping them in the refrigerator, I don't even think they really make much waste, if any at all. So I don't smell them. They could smell, but I don't smell them. Crickets smell really bad. I hate crickets. They jump everywhere. They make noise. I'm keeping them in my room now, so the noise is very annoying. Just watch me. I'll cover you up while I go back to my room. Alright, and we are back into my room. And one thing, I'm not going to start doing this because I'm not completely sure. I've heard from a lot of people that you can just put a calcium dish in there. You don't even have to do their food, and they'll just go up to it and lick it, which I'm not saying. I've heard it from a lot of people, so I do believe it, but I don't want to do it quite yet because I don't, I'm not for sure. So if you guys have any information about that, I don't doubt that it's true, but if y'all have some more details on how, I wouldn't know to do that. If I was, if I was a gecko, I mean, I'm not saying they're stupid, but they're not as intelligent as humans. So if I was a little gecko and there's a bowl of white powder, I wouldn't think, oh, that's calcium. Let me go lick that. So it'll keep me healthy. And actually, apparently they know whenever they're low on it, and they'll just go over there and get some. So if y'all have any information on how they can do that and if it's a good idea, then just comment down below and tell me something about that. Alright, so here's Elvis's food for the night, which that'll probably last him a night or two. It's quite a bit. But, alright, well, I think I'm gonna leave you guys now. Until next time, YouTube.